guys, it's Kat. Today I just wanted to tell y'all a rather interesting story that happened at work a while ago. I think it was in January of this year, and it's like September now, so it's been a little while, but I still remember that pretty clearly. So of course this happened at work. Everything weird happens at work, but it was the end of like a Sunday night, and I had these two guys come in and sit at one of my tables, and like they told me they had a few more guys coming, and I was like, yeah, cool. Well, I went up to greet them and do the whole spiel. In 30 seconds, I knew this was gonna go badly. So I start off with the usual spiel. Hi, my name's Catherine, blah, blah, blah. And then of the two guys that were currently there, there was one about mid-20s to early 30s, and then the other one was like an older man. And the older man was, hi Catherine, you're very beautiful. I just turned 75 yesterday, and I'm a dirty old man. Yeah, that doesn't really need much of an explanation, because when you hear that, you know you're about to have a really bad time with it. So one thing, if you haven't already figured it out about serving, is the best way I can think to describe it is you're kind of on a leash. Like, they want you to show personality, and basically they mean be fake nice, because like when people say stuff like that to you, like, I feel like they say you're allowed to stand up for yourself, but at the same time you're not allowed to just say whatever you want, like, wow, you're disgusting, I'm not gonna serve you. So of course my initial reaction is just like, and I kind of like laughed awkwardly and just stood there, because I'm like, I feel like I never know what I can and can't say, because I'm normally just like the whole, oh, like friendly thing, and I kind of blow it off. But when people start to go too far, it's like, I don't really know what to do, because I'm like, I don't want to be like, screw you, dude, and get in trouble because, you know, I get fired from my job, and I don't want that to happen. But it's really awkward, because you're like, at least especially for me, I'm in a place where I'm like, I don't really know what to say right now. This is weird. So like right off the bat, I just knew that this was not gonna be fun. So I tried to just kind of ignore him, think, you know, haha, maybe if I just kind of like laugh it off, he'll like, he got his chuckle, he'll let it go. Needless to say, this was not the case. That was probably the most benign. That was like the warning wave before the tsunami of this table. So I bring the first two guys back their drink order, and we're kind of chatting, he's being friendly, and I'm like, okay, maybe that was it. It's not that big of a deal. But then he starts like, you know, introducing me to his son, saying, oh yeah, like he's really smart, he's studying to be a doctor. And I'm like, okay, like benefit of the doubt, he's bragging on his children, like people do that. Or it might have been his grandson, I'm not really sure. But either way, wait, I think it would be his son. I can't do math. Anyways, he was like bragging on him. I'm like, okay, yeah. And then he started like, you know, when you get that vibe that someone's trying to set you up, which is like annoying, I feel like, to anybody, but especially me, because I'm so socially awkward, especially when it comes to those kind of things. So I'm like, please don't do this. And even the son was kind of like he wasn't mad about it, but you could tell he was kind of like, okay, calm down, dad. So as the other couple guys in the group get there, I figure out that they're all his sons, so he's bragging on all of them. And at one point he even made the comment of, you can take your pick, and like gestured at all of them, and a comment about how maybe he was a little too old but his sons weren't. And it was just ridiculous. So I'm like, okay. At this point I'm like, still just kind of like awkwardly being like, bye, and then like walking away when he's mid-sentence. And then he starts to talk about his house and how he has a really nice house. It's like, I think he said like a plantation style house, and how they have a lot of land, they have horse stables, and he's like, oh yeah, our property's really nice. So here's where I made my critical mistake. I thought this was one of those times like, okay, this dude's obviously making me uncomfortable, he's not being funny, but like maybe if I just like go haha yeah and like joke along, he'll let it go. Very critical mistake on my part. That was not the case. So I said, oh yeah, how many bedrooms? And I don't even remember, I think he said like 10 or something absurd like that. And then he starts talking about how, oh yeah, we have like over 5 bathrooms, we have 2 hot tubs, we have a game room on the top floor. And then he told me about like the horse stables and everything. And then I realized it was a mistake to like joke like, yeah, how many rooms? Like, because he just kept going. And then the point, like, it was all inappropriate, but where I was like the most concerned was when it got to the point where I walked up and he said, hey, I just want to let you know, when you come to see the house, you can bring a girlfriend or something if that makes you feel less weird and like more comfortable, because I don't want you to be uncomfortable in the house, you know, when you come to see it for the first time. Holy crap, this dude was not kidding. Like, at least for the first part of it, no, it wasn't funny or appropriate, but at least I could be like, okay, whatever, he thinks he's being funny. He wasn't trying to be funny. This dude was being dead serious. So after this little moment of realization of, holy crap, I think this guy actually thinks I'm going to come to his house and like be convinced to marry into the family, because he did say like the word marriage in this whole discussion, which is why I picked the name of the video as it is. Like, he said, yeah, like you should marry into the family, and was bragging about their assets, like the property, and like how his sons are really smart. And that concerns me a lot, because even as a joke it's not funny, but then when he was like, does that ever work for people to be like, hey, we got, well, okay, I'm sure there are some people in the world, but he just like came into a random restaurant, told the waitress like, hey, like, we got money, we got a lot of good stuff at the house, like, want to marry into the family, after telling me he finds me attractive and he's a dirty old man. So after a while, this guy just kept steadily getting worse, because he was like drinking a little bit too. He just kept getting worse as the night went on. So eventually I just kind of stopped going to the table, and I think one of his sons kind of could tell what was going on, because he wasn't blind and deaf. So eventually he came to find me with some cash and said, here's for the bill, keep the change, like, you don't have to come back. Like, he knew I didn't want to go back to the table. So I was like, okay, I appreciate that. So I just took it and then just like hid in the back of the restaurant. So yeah, it's weird things that happen at work. I mean, I kind of hope no one can relate to that, but I know a lot of people can, unfortunately. So yeah, this is just an example of the kind of weird things I run into on a daily basis. But thanks for watching and going on that adventure with me. Bye, see you next time.